Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and this week we have a brand new event for Idle Heroes, and it's the first time the Cardclash event is offering rewards that will enhance your Primal Grimoire. And if you don't know, the Primal Grimoire is a way to give extra stats to your heroes in a way that even far surpasses the treasure train. We're talking massive attack and HP bonuses. So a few questions for this week's event. Is it worth, as a free-to-play player, pushing this? Can you even get Grimoire materials as a free-to-play? And if you're a spender, which options are available to you to get the most rewards from this event with effective value for money? So we're going to jump into all that in a second, but before we do, let me remind you, if you need one-to-one advice in Idle Heroes, you can join us on a Tuesday in our Discord server and our Twitch streams. Links for both are in the description. You can sign up for an account review, giving me screenshots of your account, so it doesn't matter if you're Android, iOS, or anything like that, and ask questions where we'll talk one-to-one, you and me, about the nature of your account, the goals you're aiming towards, and if there's anything I can do to help you to optimize your progress forwards. If that's something you're interested in, there are several ways to get access to that, but one key way is the option of backing me on Patreon. There's a link in the corner of the screen. If you click that, sign up on Patreon, link your Discord account, you will get access to account review sign-up on a Tuesday. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check out all those links if you want one-to-one advice in Idle Heroes. Anyway, with all that said, let's go check out this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, as we said, this week is the Card Clash of Illusion, meaning every day for logging in, you're going to get 7 enchanted cards. So that is 49 across the week for free. Absolutely make sure you're claiming these, as these are essential to maximizing your rewards this week. If we take a look at the cool events, you'll see there are other ways to get cards as well, such as value packages, which can be purchased with starry gems or with money if you were so inclined. And those cards are used in the Card Clash of Illusion to reveal heroes from different factions and use them to attack the boss. You put together teams of 3 heroes, and you can use buffs such as this plus 15% damage here, which will combo with the different heroes you have. This particular boss is weak to Dark and Transcendence heroes, so my Transcendence and Dark hero here are actually getting an added bonus, meaning the team's damage is not 30,000, but actually 34,000, which is quite nice. So you use these tickets to draw through. You can get more by purchasing them with gems up to 60 times, and that will cost you a total of 6,000 gems. And you can also, if you are inclined, use contract starry gems or starry gemish items to also get more enchanted cards. My advice is, if you're going to try and do this, where you're planning on spending gems and starry gemish items, wait until the final day of the event when you've accumulated all the 49 cards you can get for free, because you don't want to spend too many cards, because you only want to spend the amount you need to get to the particular stage you want to get your Glorious Treasury coins. Glorious Treasury coins can be exchanged here in the Glorious Treasury for rewards. The first area, with its discount opportunity of 4, is giving you an exchange option of Stellar Shards, Crystals of Transcendence. Even here, you can get Starspawn eggs if that was going to help you in your journey, and even Master's Toolboxes and other Residence construction items as well. And this final one here, for those of you competing in the Idle Heroes 10-Star Cup, you might even appreciate some magic dust. Treasury 2, this is offering artifacts, and these cost 10, so this is something else you could push for. It does not include Demon Bell or Antler's Cane, which is why we recommend saving artifact chests for those 2 artifacts, but you can see there are good artifacts here, namely Elusive Mirror and Melodic Strings, that will help you in your Idle Heroes journey. Pushing on to Treasury 3, there's Sublimation and other Origin rewards. Prioritize Sublimation if you're newer. You don't really need Cores of Origin until you're focusing on Destiny. Treasury 4 is offering Deific Artifacts, which are very useful for establishing powerful artifacts, especially for earlier accounts. Treasury 5 is offering Destiny materials, and very excitingly, Treasury 6 is now offering Grimoire materials. These Grimoire Essence, for example, are great for improving the power of the Grimoire, massively improving your attack and HP. These enable infusing stones, allow you to take your heroes to the next level, but it does require your Grimoire to be upgraded in the first place, so purple essence is more important, and the sigil core can be used to upgrade your sigils. This is not important. I would not go ahead and chase this. I definitely think the fusion stones are sometimes worth it, but more importantly, the Grimoire essence is the key resource to maximize the attack and HP on your heroes, and I would almost always push you to pick this up if you have the opportunity. Now, to unlock Treasury 6, you need to have spent 50 Glorious Treasury coins in the other treasuries to even get here. So to be able to get one of these rewards, even just one, you need 60 Glorious Treasury coins. And finally, Treasury 7 is offering Star Soul materials, which are very good for improving your Nirvana heroes to make them even stronger. And this also feeds into the Grimoire, because the Grimoire does actually want you to have these upgrades on your heroes, because it makes the Grimoire give you even more stuff. So the effects are compounding. So this is very good for big heavy spenders that want to push up to over 100 Treasury coins, because you can actually now limit this up to 6 times. And for the first time in the history of the Glorious Treasury during a Card Clash event, this week, you can actually get all 6. More on how to do that later. With lots of different things to spend your treasury coins on then, the best routes in my opinion for you are, if you're a free-to-play player, head to stage 5. Just go up this, using your free cards, using some gems, and get yourself a pick from the first treasury store. Typically, Stellar Shards is the best move. If you do have some extra contract story gems that you do want to spend, you could spend a small number to get an additional 5 treasury coins, taking you to stage 7, where buying an artifact would also be nice. Perhaps you need Elusive Mirror or Melodic Strings established on your account. In that particular scenario, I think that's okay. After that, free-to-play players do not have a way in this game, even if you spent a ton of contract story gems and story gem packs, to reliably get to a point where you're getting to Treasury 6. So you cannot pick up Grimoire Essence this week for free. And in fact, I wouldn't even be inclined to. I'd want to save for bigger events, such as Heroic Summon events, or big Prophet Orb events, or whatever events DH Games are cooking up that would give Grimoire Essence as part of bigger rewards like Deific Artifacts and Sublimation. So honestly, guys, I think just save your contract story gems. And that's where the contractual strategy is actually really good. This is rewarding you for having made progress in Realmsgate, so if you aren't already doing that, make sure you're pushing your Realmsgate all the way up to Realmsgate level 80, and you'll see that you're able to pick up story gems from here. You can get 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 in total for that progress. Go ahead and claim all this, and just sit comfortable that you've got 600 contract story gems that you can save for a bigger event in the future. And one of the most common questions I get asked is, how do free-to-play players get contract story gems? This event is one of the key opportunities to do so. In addition to the Card Clash, we have Awakening Privileges. These are going to reward you for awakening heroes, and that is going to get you points in this particular area for the different awakens that you get, and those points will accumulate to get you certain rewards. The big cutoff point for me is 100. This gets you a mysterious artifact selection chest. So if you're sat on a pile of, let's say, 16 or more free awakens, you might want to consider opening this. I have 55 free awakens. We got a heck of a lot of them in recent events, and yeah, you could go ahead and pop these to get yourself a nice amount of progress during an awakening event. Heck, if you wanted to and you have a big enough stack, you could even push all the way up to 600, getting yourself Scattered Spiritvein Shards or Divine Power Aurora Gems. But just bear in mind, 300 points is about 50 awakens, so that's something to keep in the back of your mind when it comes to whether you actually want to push something like this. I actually might do this on my account just because of all those free awakens I have, and an extra opportunity to pick up some Origin rewards would be nice, and it's not like I'm going to use those free awakens for anything else. However, the opportunity to spend contract story gems also could be available to players. I would not do that. I would much rather save contract story gems for bigger events because the rewards far outweigh awakening heroes. So if that's something you're tempted in my personal opinion, I do not think it's a good idea. So do this if you have free awakens, but if you don't, I would pass. All of the events we've looked at so far add together into the Starlight melody, which is giving you points for using enchanted cards and for awakening heroes. We have our usual chests here, 100, 200, and 300, which are giving you a selection of spiritual essence, stellar shards, and a chest containing some transcendence heroes depending on which chest it is. As well, some master's toolboxes are thrown in there as well. Every time you reach this point threshold, so every time you get 100 points, you'll get an 100 chest, same for 200 and 300, so there are chances to get a lot of key resources. Spiritual Essence, for example, is an item that a lot of people struggle with in the later stages of the game, because for Destiny heroes, you need to get lots of heroes to level 120, which is very high in the Tree of Origin and requires 1.25 million Spiritual Essence. So even the stuff you get from the Gloria challenge is quickly consumed. So perhaps pushing an event like this is not a bad idea. You can expect, with your enchanted cards, to probably get up to 400 points, even if you're a free-to-play player. So that's quite nice. You'll still pick up a lot of good rewards. But if you want to push this and buy more enchanted cards with contract story gems and value packs, you could even push yourself into a position where you're getting all the way up to 1,500 points. Maybe you'll throw in there Awakens as well, and that is going to get you a 10 treasury coin box. This is pretty nice. If you add to that the Moonlight Gift, you'll start seeing for every $100 you spend, you're going to get yourself some modifiers this week. $100 is times 2, 200 is times 4, times 6 is $300, and for the first time ever, there is a $400 reward, which doesn't take that times 6 to a times 8, but in fact times 9, which is quite an exciting prospect. It means that people are able to get loads of spiritual essence and also pick up a lot of glorious treasury coins, meaning the total that you can potentially get to this week is actually 90 glorious treasury coins from here, plus the 80 from the cardclash of illusion, meaning 170 treasury coins could be yours, which means you can buy all 6 star souls. Now granted, you do have to max the Starlight Melody, completely push through the cardclash, and spend $400, but to make this a little easier, DH Games are giving us even more Flora's Picnic packages. You'll see the limit here is 4, which means you could theoretically buy all 4 of these for $400. There's one reason that might be a good idea, and that could be maybe you're not after Star Soul stuff. In fact, you'll like the part of the Flora's Picnic is that it's giving you lots of Prism Starry Gems and a chest with Contract Starry Gems in here. Maybe you don't like buying Starry Gems from other players. This is a great way of injecting them into your account for a affordable price, much better than the normal prices DH Games charge them for. On top of that, the Moonlight Gift is also giving you some more Prism Starry Gems on top of this, again, arguing for the good value of this event, which potentially brings this up to competitive prices of even private sales between players, because the one difference here is you're also getting tons of extra rewards thrown in, which makes this even tempting, even for middling spenders. However, if you do buy all 4 of these, the chances of you getting all the way to the top end of the cardclash of illusion and getting all 80 glorious treasury coins that you can get for getting to stage 20 is slim. Instead, my recommendation would be, especially if you don't plan on doing any Awakens this week, buy the top 2 $100 packages. Then, to get to the other 200, you can buy 2 Flora's Picnic boxes. That is $400 spent on the game. It's a lot of money, but it is going to get you a heck of a lot of rewards. You've got a load of stuff like Origin Artifact Selection Chest, all the fun stuff coming from the Starlight Melody, and you get tons of Glorious Treasury coins, meaning you'll get lots and lots of rewards from here, including 6 Star Souls, which is massive for people that have Nirvana heroes. You'll also have the opportunity to pick up 4 lots of Grimoire rewards from here, Deific and Destiny items if you need them, not to mention, if you're pushing, you might need some Sublimation and Cause of Origin on your account as well. So all this does add up to a very, very, very high value, but also expensive event. I think for some people that's fine. Those of you that like spending hundreds of dollars on this game will probably find this extremely appealing, and I know we were wrestling with this with my group on a Twitch stream, for example, we were just really going, wow, the DH Games have pulled it out the bag with this one, because that added step up to $400 is extremely exciting because the value is so much higher. Going from times 6 to times 9 is much better than times 4 to times 6, right? And it's giving us, for the first time, an opportunity to buy all of the Star Soul materials from here, meaning you're getting a lot of Star Souls for your spending. Not to mention, this is the first time we've had a very, very easy access to Grimoire Essence thrown into an event that's already giving us lots of stuff. So for people tempted to buff their Grimoire, this event is perfect. $400 is a lot of money, and that is the big downside to this event. However, I don't think spending $300 is necessarily a bad idea either. Times 6 is still completely fine. Instead, you just pick up 1 Flora's Picnic package. That's okay. Or, if you want to get really spicy, what you could decide to do is just go to 200. Maybe you're not so interested in the Star Soul stuff, but the idea of upgrading your Grimoire, that's good for any player that has this unlocked. So maybe you just want to spend $200, get all the Grimoire stuff and all the other good stuff that'll come before. That could be tempting. And in that scenario, you might not even need to buy your value packages to be the $200. You could just go after Flora's Picnic stuff. Make sure you do the maths on the enchanted cards and how much you're prepared to awaken and what you're actually going to get from this, of course. But there are ways, because you only need 90 Glorious Treasury coins. Let's say you're actually maxing the cardclash. That's 80 Glorious Treasury coins already. And if you're spending $200, that's going to get you to the times 4 in the Starlight Melody, which is going to get you another 40 Glorious Treasuries. That means you're in a position where you've got 120. That's potentially more than you'd actually need to spend if all you cared about was the Grimoire materials. In that case, getting to the top level of the cardclash of illusion is probably going to be less important. So buying the top value packages for $100 here is probably a little less attractive than spending $200 just on Flora's Picnic stuff. And I can definitely see an argument for it if you're at no position to get Star Soul materials on your account and actually take advantage of having Nirvana heroes. That said though, maybe the story gems and the contract story gems are of little value to you, in which case it would probably make more sense to just buy these top value packages, but even then I'm not necessarily sure that is the best decision because Flora's Picnic does give such good rewards. However, do remember you need to spend contract story gems here as well to pick up additional enchanted cards because they will inevitably be useful to make progress in the Card Clash illusion to get your desired total of Glorious Treasury coins. So do bear that in mind because this event will still get you in those packages if you don't choose to spend the top rewards here. And even if you do, if you're taking the $300 or $400 route, you still may need to spend story gems on these story gem packs here. Other than that, I don't think there's an optimal way to spend this week. We tried to work out a way for $100 spenders to get some good value, and really, there are just far superior ways to spend $100 on the game, so I would just keep your money tight. 200, 300, and 400 all seem attractive for different spending points and all give different rewards, and potentially amazing rewards depending on the stage of the game you're in, and for all of those routes, you are taking advantage of the Grimoire material in Treasury 6, and that is the big winning material for this week's event. So if anything crosses your mind, if you're planning on spending, getting the Grimoire Essence is the essential resource to maximize progress this week. Everything else you're picking up, whether it's deific artifacts, destiny materials, and all the core of origin and sublimation stuff that comes along the way, that's just extra bonus stuff. That's a good thing. We like bonus rewards. I've never complained about bonus rewards. Love to have them thrown in, but the big runaway is going to be the Grimoire Essence to massively improve the attack and HP of your team. So, for those of you wanting to spend this week, that is my advice. Of course, if you're free to play, just do the contractual strategy, do the minimum, maybe get some rewards in Treasury 1 or Treasury 2, but don't go any further than that. I know there could be the argument for pushing into Treasury 3. I really don't think it's that important or worth it. There are better ways to spend your contract story gems. Next week, we have potentially an event that is just that. It's called the Porsum Journey. We're getting a brand new hero added to the game, an exchange event giving Williams and Sylvie. A new hero being added, of course, means an opportunity to get great rewards during a heroic summon event. And if you've got some spare scrolls left over from Anniversary and some contract story gems, there is a chance you're going to get some really nice rewards this week. For a full breakdown of that event, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as I do bring you these videos within 24 hours of the event being out to make sure that you guys can make the most progress in the week ahead. If that's something you're interested in, subscribe for more content. And of course, this week's event looks like a really good reinventing of the Card Clash of Illusion, and I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Grimoire Essence being added is huge, and it's likely with this week's event, next week's event, and more events in the future, Grimoire Essence is going to become more readily available, making our teams even stronger, regardless of whether you're in early, mid, or late game, which is why the Grimoire is such a fantastic and healthy addition to the game, because it improves everybody, as opposed to Star Souls, which only help people with Nirvana heroes. How silly. So good the Grimoire helps everyone then, hey. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one, subscribe for more reviews like this, and as always, have an amazing week, and happy idling.